everyone, Noor here. I'm truly sorry for not doing a follow-up video since my previous video in October. And if you kind of watched my videos like a few months back, you would know that I am actually continuing my studies. Really not continuing my studies. I am studying to be a teacher, and that's what I've been doing for the past 6 months. I have been going through my contract teaching, and basically the reason why you have to go through a contract teaching is because they are going to post you to a school, and the school is going to see whether or not you are enthusiastic enough to continue on as a teacher. I had successfully went through my 6 months of contract teaching, and I am now continuing on with the program. Hence, I haven't been able to actually do a video or to actually record one or talk about books. And I feel like this channel has been it's really a really sad state. And I don't know if anyone else is watching this, maybe except for me. Maybe. So I hope everyone is doing well and fine. It's just a little bit awkward again to just sit in front of the camera and just talk about things, so bear with me. Okay, so it's going to be the end of the year. It's going to be 2017 next year, and I feel like in terms of reading, I didn't read a lot for the past couple of months, and I think in total I read around 80 books in Goodreads, so that would be like about 6 to 7 books a month, which is, technically okay. In reality, I read a lot for the first 6 months, and then I read like barely 1 or 2 books for the past 6 months, a month. So it's been like a disappointing drop to reading. I was busy. I was trying to do a juggle teaching with reading, and it's not been an easy thing to do, and especially if we have only like 6 months of contract teaching, we have a lot of things to do, so I never really had that time to just actually sit down and finish a book. I feel like I have changed a lot as a reader as compared to when I was a year ago, and usually like if you ask me a year ago or probably way before this year, whenever I read a book, it will always be one book, and I would read it through and through, like from cover to cover, even if the book is not that excellent, even if I had to push through to read the book. And I feel like probably the reason why I did that, probably the reason why I've always been trying to hold on and finish a book is mainly because, one, I feel like I have to give credit to the author. They wrote this book, so at least I as a reader I would try to finish the book. And second of all, maybe because I feel like things will be a little bit different when I keep pushing on the book. Who knows, there might be a miracle like the last 10 pages or so, where things starts to get a little bit more interesting. And third of all, I feel like I don't want to waste my time like buying a book or getting a book and not finishing the book. Like, I want to make sure that I finally did it. I finally read the book. But it's not the case recently. I have been having a lot of books that I read and it ditched halfway. So what is the term? Unfinished books? No, I know there's a term for that. See, I don't even remember the terms, but yeah, I have books that I read and ditched halfway, and mainly because I feel like time is so precious, especially like now. And so far, the book that I've been abandoning halfway, they're all books that looks promising, and there's all the hype in the world, but they are books that I don't necessarily like, and for some reason I get very disappointed just not being able to finish the book. But things, you are, as a reader, you have all the autonomy to pick whatever book you want and finish whatever book you want, and in this case, abandon whatever book you want. And that's what I did. I've been abandoning a couple of books, mainly because one, even though the plot looks promising, even though the synopsis looks promising, but the language is just not there, and it just ticks me off if it's a very monotonous narrator, or if that the characters doesn't have a distinctive voice, or that everything just sounds mediocre. So it's that ticks me off. So I didn't manage to complete that one book. And another is because another book that I didn't finish was a very popular, like, hype book. Everybody read it, and it's a memoir. And it looks so life changing, and it has everything you want. If you're a feminist, woman that just grows from a particular childhood and became a strong, independent woman. But I feel like the story is a little bit repetitive, and I don't feel like there's a lot of lessons being learned from that. And I feel like the story is a little bit, like, I'm a little bit skeptical of the stories that she wrote in the book. So it's hard to believe when you could not relate to the book. And I think that, as a reader, all you want to do is to relate with the book. The more you can relate, the more you could understand how the author is feeling, or what the author wants to portray in the characters. But if you don't have that, then it's you won't be able to connect with the book, and hence you might not be able to finish the book or enjoy the book as much as maybe other people did. But it's okay, because it's different perspective. Everybody have different perspective when it comes to the things that they like in life, and books are really like art. I'm blabbering over here, but technically whatever people read, it's to each their own and how they see it. So that has been going on in my life. I have been ditching books, and it's been such a very revolutionary feeling. Is that the word? It's been great because I don't feel committed to one book, and I feel that as a person I can choose to not read or continue a book whenever I want to, and that feels very empowering. And of course I have been really picky with what I read because of that. So now I am really streamlining my book choices and see if there are any books that are worth the read and worth my time, basically. So that's that. And I will be doing sort of like a 2016 wrap up in retrospect for my books that I've read this year. Not a lot, but there are a lot of books that I have in mind that has impacted my life, and I feel that this is the great time of the year to just recollect everything and talk to you about it. Maybe because the post that the book review that I did might be like 12 months ago. So I'll just collect everything and show you the books that impacted my life and books that I recommend reading. So that's it. Yeah, and if you see the background is a little bit different. Not that I show you my bedroom or anything, but what is that? So if you're wondering, I am basically living in campus. It has been a great 2 weeks so far. This room is pretty small. It's such a small space. It's not a lot of things going on in here, and I probably wouldn't do a room tour because there isn't anything. It's just my things and more books and textbooks and notes and stuff like that. Nothing fancy, so I might probably not do that. But yeah, here I am, and I have nothing else to say. So I hope with this, time where I'm starting school and having a little bit more student time, you know, because when you're a student and when you're a working adult, it's two different things. So now that I am a student, I have a little bit more personal time, so I hope to be going back and getting back into booktube and just making my channel alive again, so reviving this channel, hopefully. And that's it. That's it I have for today. So yeah, you guys stay awesome, and I know you guys have been reading. I have no idea what other books out there right now. Gosh, I am so left behind. So yeah, till then guys, chill out.